Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video clip that I'm about to show you, okay, is actually some really, really good news for Donald Trump and his campaign moving forward, which I'm hoping that everybody has heard so far. Earlier today, this Fox News video came out about 5 hours ago. I'm assuming going on 6 hours now. Which, like I said, which is great news. Supposedly, the judge Marchand, that's overlooking the supposed hush money trial case, has delayed Trump's court appearance till after the election, which is good news because this just frees up so much BS, okay? The way that they've been trying to suppress, like, you know, what Trump is trying to do as far as running for president. And also, I believe that this definitely is something else that's really going to help him, and also with Robert Kennedy getting constituents from Michigan and Wisconsin, okay, to jump on board the Trump train, in my opinion, because as you heard, that supposedly the Democrat Party is trying to stop Robert Kennedy from getting off the ballot in Wisconsin and Michigan. So I think that with this happening, that it's going to just free up a lot of stress, where now they can both do their thing. Trump could keep on with his campaigning. Robert Kennedy could go along with his part, you know, what he has to do in order to get the people on his side to go and vote for Trump. And I think it's gonna bring a lot. It's gonna bring a lot of attention, and there's gonna be all kinds of rhetoric coming from the left about this decision. God only knows what this man's thinking, the judge. Maybe he'll come out and make a, you know, come out and say something about it, or whatever the case is. Me personally, I think that he's getting so much blowback from like those that are behind the scenes when it comes to, like, you know, the court system and all that, and who knows, maybe they're talking to him and bending his ears, saying, listen, what you're doing is wrong, okay? Like I said, one only knows, God knows. If he says anything, we'll find out. If he doesn't, then it's all going to be up to, you know, anybody's guess to figure out why he decided to make this decision. But don't be surprised if you hear from the left, in my opinion, because I wouldn't doubt it, if they start saying that Trump sent somebody over to, like, you know, strong arm this dude, or whatever the case is. I'm not trying to take his side, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely not. But it's going to be interesting to find out why. All of a sudden, why? Because Trump was supposed to be in court, what, in another week or something like that, you know, about 10 days, I think it was. So we'll see how this is going to play out. But before I play the video, two things. Number one, I want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers, both here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. If you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. And also, I'm leaving the link to Loza Alexander's GoFundMe campaign. If you guys can help him by donating, or even leaving words of encouragement and prayer on the campaign, that'd be greatly appreciated. The second thing is, if you read my title and my thumbnail, there's a reason for that, okay? Especially my title, and I'll explain that after we watch some of this video. There's something that I want to share, okay? And I need every Patriot's attention, every MAGA supporter's attention, whether it's here in America or around the world. I know there's plenty of views, especially around the world. But there's something that I'd like to say, and I need everybody's attention. But with that being said, let's get into this, and let's see what's going on with this. Here we go.
This is some breaking news coming from the New York City courts. Judge Juan Marchand, who has been the presiding judge over former President Trump's so-called hush money case, has made a determination that he is not going to go ahead with the September 18th sentencing date for the former president, that it will be delayed until after the election. This had been a really fraught decision for this judge, because people had observed, Sandra, that if he had have gone ahead with the sentencing, then the former president could have accused him of meddling in an election. And if he decided to delay the sentencing until after the election, no doubt he would get hit by a lot of accusations that he was acting in Donald Trump's political interests as opposed to in the interests of justice. But
I'm gonna cut it real quick. It's true, because I've been checking out some channels of like law experts, and I mean, they're saying that, you know what, that for all intents and purposes, it to them, with years and years and years of experience, 10, 20, 30 years, you know, some of them, you know, 4 or 5 decades, says that they say that they feel that, you know, this can be construed as election tampering, you know. So they don't understand why this judge would want to put himself in a situation like this, especially with the fact that his daughter, okay, has worked on now this is supposedly, but there's supposed to be a lot of proof out there. His daughter actually did work for the Kamala campaign, okay. So not only do they think that, you know, he needs to recuse himself, it's he's making himself look bad on, especially with his position as a judge, but also the fact that if he knew that his daughter was already, you know, involved with the Democrat Party on a very close scale with Harris, that in itself right there, he should have just recused himself way before he even took the bench. I mean, as soon as he got the paperwork, they're saying he should have looked at it and said, I can't take care of this trial, I can't take this case, because my daughter is that close to the vice president who is running for the presidency against Donald Trump. But let's continue.
The breaking news coming to us just a couple of minutes ago: Judge Juan Merchan, the presiding judge in the so-called hush money case with Stormy Daniels, has decided to delay the sentencing for the former president until after the November election. This is a big decision, Sandra.
Obviously, the implications of the timing is huge, considering the upcoming election, November 26th, many days and weeks after Election Day. So this just in, and we're going to get brand new reactions shortly. Obviously, we're talking about the judge overseeing former President Donald Trump's hush money trial. This has obviously taken center stage to many other cases we've been watching this week. But the sentencing now, John, delayed to November 26th, as we learn brand new details.
You know, the former president was speaking to this just a little while ago at his New York City Trump Tower headquarters, saying that this was a deal, that there was nothing that was wrong with it legally. Now, don't forget that the Manhattan District Attorney decided to bootstrap that case, which would have been a misdemeanor, to the commission of, or possible commission of, a federal crime, election interference, or at least affecting the outcome of an election, and turned that into a felony. And in doing that, he got around the statute of limitations, and the jury came back with the verdict that the former president was guilty on all counts. But we're not going to learn about the penalty that will be imposed in this case, if a penalty is imposed at all, until sometime after the election. And if the former president wins the election, Sandra, that could potentially change the outcome of literally everything.
All right, if you're just tuning in now, we just got word that the judge in this hush money case has delayed former President Donald Trump's hush money sentencing until after the election. You can see the date on your screen there is November 26th. John, just looking at the court document here and making my way through it to see if there's any further details that would be pertinent, but obviously the news is that this will be happening after the election. John, there will obviously be political debate and conversation around this in the coming days and weeks.
Yeah, there's no question. Again, as I said, the decision by the judge was fraught, and he probably was going to face criticism no matter what decision he made. Again, if he had decided to go ahead with the sentencing and even sentenced former President Trump to jail time, which a lot of people thought would be the outcome of this, then there would be a great hue and cry from the Trump campaign and his supporters that this was the judicial system interfering in politics, but that if he waited, he would probably get a lot of criticism from Democrats saying, well, wait a second, this was supposed to be examining the rule of law and carrying out the rule of law, not taking into consideration the political fortunes of a presidential candidate.
Joining us now by phone is Jonathan Turley. Jonathan, jump on in here on the breaking news. As the former president, we know, as we learned weeks ago.
You know, it's funny of what he said of what the Democrats are saying about, if I got it correct, about the political fortunes and all that. You know, it's like, you know, when Nancy Pelosi's husband got into that car wreck, that was fast paced through the news. When the situation with her husband in the house that was attacked by a dude, that was pushed fast through the news. Fannie Willis, daughter or something like that, got arrested, I believe it was, for driving without a license, and then she shows up with that guy, I don't know his name, supposed to be her boyfriend or not her boyfriend or whoever, whatever, you know, whatever the case is, on body cam from the cop. Okay, when she walks up, they ask her, you the mom and dad? And she looks and says, friend. Now, don't know if it means if she's a friend or if that guy, her boyfriend or whatever he is supposed to be a friend. Now there's news circulating that supposedly in one of Kamala Harris's motorcades that there was an accident that supposedly left somebody injured. I don't know how true that is, because now they're trying to spin it, saying that it's all a rumor. You know, all these things keep coming out, okay? And they, you know, the left, they try to change the narrative to say, no, it's all lies. You know, they're just attacking us because we're politicians and we're Democrats and this and that. So with everything that's going on, with everybody attacking him in New York, I mean, in Georgia, all these cases that are going on in Colorado, you know, it's like, so you're telling me that you're not attacking Trump on a political level? You're not attacking him because of politics? You know, especially with that woman that won the lawsuit that they're supposed to be an author, okay, which I did some digging on her, some looking for some information, and to find out how much the woman was worth, being that she was awarded like $80 million. Come to find out that before the Trump trial, her fortune was only worth about $1 million. Okay, so it's like you're getting all these people to attack Trump, and you know, it's true. If the Democrats come out, well, when they come out, they're going to try to spin this, and supposedly this judge is supposed to be on their side. Mark my words, like I always say, that the Democrats eat themselves. They eat each other up. They're going to attack this man big time. Big time. And they're going to try to put a spin on this and try to say that this was a decision, okay, by pressure being put from Trump's side on the judge. I guarantee you that's how they're going to try to spin it. But let's continue.
Move to delay the sentencing for this hush money scheme until after Election Day, and it looks like the judge has decided to do so. Your reaction?
Yes, and forgive the bells in the background. I'm on campus. It's not signaling this opinion. The decision is not surprising in two respects. One is, it was always controversial to have the sentencing before the election, and the judge clearly did not feel comfortable that he was ready to do so. But the second reason is the reason for that discomfort. The Supreme Court decision presented some very serious questions about this trial, and the judge knew he would be subject to an appellate review. It's clear that parts of the trial did run afoul of the Supreme Court decision. He allowed testimony of people like Hope Hicks to be entered, and that clearly fell within the privileged aspect of the immunity decision. So he has to essentially get this cat to walk backwards. He has got to try to find a way that evidence could be excluded, but the ultimate outcome be accepted. That's not as easy as people suggest, and he's got to create a record for that can withstand appellate review. So I think that the judge here is following the most cautious possible approach to say, let's hold off. It'll give me more time to look at the implications of this, and let's proceed after the election.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah, right. What he's trying to do is say, you know what? He doesn't want to eat crow. That's what it is. He's trying to save his job. You know, for the Supreme Court to jump in and say, you know what? He'll be reviewed. You know, if he pursues with this, he's going to be under review. He doesn't want to lose his position. That's what it is, in my opinion. He probably figured, you know what? You know, we can get through this and get him in, and with all the backing of Biden and Harris, this will be a slam dunk, and we'll get him in before the election. But it's like the Supreme Court is like, no, wait a minute, you really need to look into this and figure out what the hell you're doing, okay? Because if you don't, with the way all the evidence has been coming out, you know, and this whole thing about 34 counts, you know, indicted 34 times or whatever the hell the case is, indicted 4 times and on 34 counts of this, and he's this and he's that. It's like, is this more of a political attack against him? Okay, because all the other cases just seem to keep falling apart. Okay, especially with Jack Smith, they just seem to keep falling apart. Now Jack Smith has another case against him that he's trying to push, and it's like, you know, you guys are reaching for stuff that's not there. You're trying to make up cases against him, okay? And if they keep falling apart, it could only be but so many reasons. And one of them being, it's because you people are lying, Trump is innocent. Okay? And especially now, with Trump gaining so much support, especially in New York and in Chicago and in all these other places, I don't know if anybody's been noticing, but has anybody been noticing that all these Democrats are trying to change their tune, even though they're letting the country get flooded with illegals? In my opinion, I still think they're doing it to get votes, and I think that millions of people around the country think the same. But it's like, do you not understand that what you are doing, like Trump said yesterday, and I tell you what, the video that I played last night, Trump came out and talked about how they're trying to, put him in prison and stuff like that, and the problem that he had with Hillary. And then he made a comment, and he came out and said, you know, it goes both ways. And I think that when he said that, because my reaction on the video was like, oh wow, was that he's probably telling everyone, if you are pushing all these cases against me and they're all lies, when I become president, you're all going to get investigated. That's the way I see it. And you know what? He has every right to do that. Okay? With all the bullshit that they've been putting him through. But let's continue.
In terms of proceeding after the election, it looks like the new sentencing date is set for November the 26th. But let's not forget, Professor, that just before then, on November the 12th, which is 7 days after the election, the judge is going to make a decision on a motion to vacate the conviction because of the Supreme Court's decision on presidential immunity. So do you think that date, that November 12th date, also played into Merchan's decision here?
I think it does. I think that all of this is being weighed together. I think that he believes that he can deal with the full range of issues here in terms of the sentencing issues, but also the continued viability of the conviction itself in November. I think all of those things, they're insular questions, but they're related to some extent. And the fact that the judge said earlier, sentencing if necessary, reflected the fact that he understands that there might not be any sentencing because there might not be any conviction. He decides that the evidence in the trial corrupted the outcome. Now, many people are betting he will not reach that conclusion, but then he has to say why it did not corrupt the outcome, why it didn't taint the verdict.
Okay, so my question to that is this. If that's what he feels, then why didn't he make a different decision? If he feels that the evidence tainted the trial, why did he go along to come out and say, okay, you know what, now you got to come in for sentencing? Right then and there, he should have just said, you know what, all this evidence is tainting up this trial. In other words, it should be, I mean, I don't know what kind of power a judge has to come out and say, to dismiss the case because, you know, of what Jonathan Turley just said, or to delay the case even more to give both sides more time to, for lack of a better term, to get their shit together. You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, it was probably because the ones on the left didn't have have all their stuff together. But why he would continue to want to push this trial, it just seems like it's more politically based than anything else. But let's continue.
Hope Hicks and some of the evidence coming out of the White House at the trial must have had an impact on that jury. And she gave this very tearful testimony that received a lot of attention. And the prosecutors made reference to it in their closing argument. So you can't really separate these issues. I think that Merchan is giving himself a little bit of cushion of time. So he will make sure that when he issues all of these rulings, he's ready for an appellate review.
To that point, just reading through the letter from the judge, signed by the judge, in reference to the defendant requesting an adjournment of his sentencing that was currently scheduled for September 18th, as we all know, until after the presidential election. The judge says he argues the adjournment is necessary to provide adequate time to assess and pursue appellate options in the event this court denies his pending criminal procedure law, and to avoid the potential politically prejudicial impact that a public sentencing could have on him and his prospects in the upcoming election. He goes on further and, by the way, signs this letter where he ultimately makes this decision, saying this is not a decision the court makes lightly, but is the decision which is in the court's view, best advances the interests of justice. Jonathan.
Yeah, justice.
Yeah,
That's what he says, justice. I would hope so, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that. I'm going to play the rest of this. It's only about another minute, and stay tuned. Like I said, there's something I need to share with you guys and show you guys, but let's continue.
Sort of an ironic passage, because many of us questioned the rush to have these trials and proceedings before the election. And Merchan was largely unsympathetic with arguments coming from the Trump team that he was gagging the leading candidate for the presidency and pulling him into a courtroom for a long trial when he was supposed to be out on the campaign trail. So it's a different tenor coming out in this letter than the one that that was previously heard in court. I think that he's making the right decision. This is going to be a historic decision either way, but more importantly, he knows that every part of his decisions on these issues will be reviewed jot for jot by the appellate court and possibly the Supreme Court.
Yep.
And so he's going to take more time, try to get it right, and try not to have this clock running artificially set by the presidential campaign.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm going to pause. That's it. That's the end of it. And it's true. In other words, if I had to read into this in layman's term, he's basically trying to cover his ass so he doesn't get fired or get disbarred. Okay, not fired but disbarred. That's just the way I see it. Okay, and that's the way it's going to look from now on. Once a lot of people start looking at this, they're going to say, you know what? And in my opinion, I think this helps, because if this is the way he's feeling, okay, and he put out a statement like that, it's going to make more people question this, okay, and really dig into it and say, you know what, wait a minute, if that's how he feels, that means that he knew from the beginning that it didn't go the way they planned it, they thinking that it was going to be a slam dunk. Let's just convict him of all these charges and stick him in prison. They knew, I'm guessing that he's probably thinking, if he since they didn't get it that way, now he knows that people are going to start asking questions like, why did you let it get this far? Why didn't you, if you said to yourself that the evidence was tainting the case, why did you let it get this far? Why didn't you stop it, okay, and really try to figure everything out, especially when it came down to evidence, because that's what it boils down to, evidence, okay? But by him saying that he felt that the evidence was tainting the case, I mean, come on, man. It's one of those things that you have to say, if you as a judge feel that everything is not on the up and up, it is your decision, okay? It is up to you. It's your obligation to come out and say, and not favor either side and say, you know what, it just doesn't seem right, okay? We're going to have to delay this, or just, you know, throw the case out of court, or whatever the case is. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not a judge. Don't know much. If I got any of this right or wrong, let me know in the comments, so like that, you know, I can, you know, figure it out some more on my end. You know, this is all a learning process when it comes to all the legalese when it comes to like courts and stuff like that. But with that being said, what I wanted to show you guys was something, and I need every MAGA patriot and every Donald Trump supporter, every patriot around the world out there to pay attention to what I got to show you. Here we go. If anybody knows, every once in a while I'll show you guys like my analytics and stuff like that. What I want to bring out is that last night's video that I put out, okay, between about Elon Musk and Donald Trump, I only got 66 views out of it, okay? Meanwhile, my average view duration is in the green, meaning that people watched a good portion of it. People may think because it's 44 minutes long, 14 minutes, that's not good, but when you see anything green on on your analytics, that's actually a good thing. Now, the reason why I bring this up and the reason why I need every patriot's attention is because of a couple of things. Number one, if you look at all these other videos that I've been putting out, okay, they're in the hundreds, 200, over 200 here, over 150 here, 160, 117. I put out a video with Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and it's like no attention whatsoever. It happens every single time I put out a video with Donald Trump, okay? And what I need and what I'm asking for, okay, is for a couple of things. Number one, if any of my subscribers were given a notification yesterday about this video, in the comments put down yes and right next to it subscriber, so I know that one of my subscribers got the notification. If you're one of my subscribers and you didn't get the notification, I need you to put down no, okay? If you are a new subscriber, or you happen to a viewer, you just happen to watch my my content, I'm asking all patriots to join my channel, okay? Because I've been noticing a few things. Number one, I've been noticing that a lot of the patriotic channels, be it here in America or overseas, it almost seems, even though there is, I mean, tons and tons and tons of videos of patriots all around the world, okay, it seems like their channels get less views and have less subscribers. But yet, I've been noticing that a lot of channels, okay, if not all, the leftist channels have hundreds of thousands of views and millions of subscribers, okay? And I find that to be, to me, it doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem right. Not to mention, okay, of all the channels that have been demonetized, and they're all right-leaning channels. Okay? Me personally, I subscribe to as many patriotic channels that I can. It doesn't matter if it's in the UK, in America, wherever I see that people are standing up for their country in the right way, no pun intended, I'm just saying in the right way, and I like their content, I subscribe. Okay? And what I think that all patriots should do, okay, especially if you don't have a channel, but you are a person that views a lot of patriotic content, like I said, whether it's here or overseas, and you are a person that, you know, that you're normally on YouTube, which a lot of people are these days, it's like the new regular TV, I think you should subscribe and show your support, okay, to all the patriotic channels, because there is so much leftist pushback against so many people in so many different countries, okay, against politicians and civilians, okay? And I'm not trying to ruffle feathers here, okay? What I'm trying to do is to like basically start a campaign to get everybody's algorithm up, because our voices are being heard, but at the same time, we all know our voices are also being suppressed and censored. Okay? And to keep hearing from the left that they support freedom of speech, let's all put it to the test. Okay? Let's put it to the test. And this is why I wanted to put this video together, because the judge had tried to put a gag order against Trump. Okay? Trying to censor him. But now he's changing his tune to move the court date further away. Because basically, in my opinion, he knows that he's going to get vilified, of course, but he's also going to get looked at. Okay, he's going to get looked at by the appellate court and the Supreme Court, which means that, you know what, if we keep letting people suppress our speech, even though basically nearly all around the world. Okay, I should say all around the world we do have freedom of speech, because that comes from God. Unfortunately, we have governments that, they're trying to suppress it. We need to speak louder, okay, and truly let everybody know that, you know what, if you have the right to say what you want to say, so do we. Okay, so do we. And like I said, I bring this up because the channel's been growing, and I'm noticing on a lot of my videos, I'm getting, over 100 views, 200 views, some of them 400 views. And a lot of people may say, well, that's nothing. Yeah, to a bigger content creator, it's nothing. But to somebody like me, that I see like an influx, going up, to me that means something. And the reason why I say that is because when I look at the analytics to this video, everything, this line, once again, it's all blue over the gray line. And most of it is above typical retention, 40%, 41%. And these are numbers that, of course, the big content creators like Mr. Beast, okay, I got to mention his name because he's probably one of the biggest ones. Yeah, he's going to get maybe 100%, I guess, or whatever the case is. But when I look at this gray line down here and I see my blue line up top, and this video is up all the way across, going up, to me that means something. Okay? But for me not to get, and I'll show it again, and it was pushed out, the video was pushed out over 1,600 times, and I only got 66 views on it, and it just makes me wonder, are people getting notifications? Are any of the patriotic channels, are their notifications being picked up by their subscribers? Okay? So like I said, if you're one of my subscribers and you got the notification last night for this video, just type it in the comment, just say yes, subscriber, or no, subscriber. You know what I mean? And if you're a new subscriber, let me know. I know a lot of people, when they subscribe, they don't put down public. And if you put down public, you'll get this red dot that's right there. That's how I know who's a subscriber and who's not. But if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But if you are going to subscribe to the channel, and I hope that you will, just leave a comment real quick. New subscriber. For the most part, a lot of views do, but also a lot of people haven't. Which is, if that's your choice, that's fine. I respect that. But if you join the channel, that's great. That's perfect. I just, I wanted to start a hashtag like 1 million Patriots strong, but everybody sees right here I only got 2378. But I'm still hopeful that that this movement is going to grow, especially now with the election right around the corner. So many elections around the Western world where they're being people are being vilified. This is the time that all us patriots need to start speaking up and need to start supporting each other, because there is a lot of stuff going on, and it's all. There's a lot of chaos going on, and it's all being perpetrated by the left, and not just here in America, in UK. You name it. The left is attacking people on the right strong and attacking patriots okay, in their own countries, they're attacking them strong, big time. But if we can band together, build up everybody's page, let all our voices be heard, okay, and let people know that, you know what, you're not going to get away with this no more. You cannot silence one side of society and then deem yourself to be the right side of society. And I'm so sick and tired of people say, I'm on the right side of history. No, you're not. No, you're not. Okay? When you're trying to suppress somebody, you are not on the right side of history. Okay? You're not. But with that being said, that's what I got for you. If you guys like the content, let me know. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. If you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. And also, I'm leaving a link to Loza Alexander's GoFundMe campaign. If you guys can help him or leave words of encouragement and some prayers, that'd be great. And we'll see how this goes with the election and the trial right after that, you know, or the sentencing or whatever they want to call it. And we'll take it from there, people, and we'll see what happens. So remember, stay vigilant, keep praying for each other, keep praying for the women and the children, keep praying for this country, pray for your enemies, pray for Donald Trump, and don't forget to vote. Peace.